Hey, how's it going? Supersonic here. Forgive me if I might sound a little off. I'm a little bit sick, but today's tutorial will be, for one, in Blender, and um, it's just going to be basically um, adding an object to a path and making that object follow said path. So first, in fact, you know what? We can go ahead and keep it a simple square or square cube. We want to add a curve, namely a path. We'll go ahead and offset this a little bit so we can see it. I'm also going to scale it up a bit. Excuse me. And let's see. Let's go into edit mode and make this path do something a little bit interesting. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab this, take it off there, grab that, pull it here, grab that, pull it down here, and so we now have a path. So by default, actually, since we have this path highlighted, let's go back in object mode. By default, it's going to be called NURBS path. You can change that, but in fact, no, just path 1. And then just for continuity reasons, let's go ahead and change that to path 1 as well. If you have any questions on how to actually change the name here, you would hold control and right click, or sorry, it's control and left click, and it will allow you to type into the field. Alright, so from there, what we want to do is now select our object that we want to follow the path, go to our object constraints, and we're going to set the constraint as to follow the path. Now, by default, it's not going to know what path to follow. We have to actually tell it we want to follow path 1, which is good for if you want it to follow, if you want different paths in your scene. Then for this one, we'll also follow curve, so that way it's always front facing as it's going down. And so if you play right now, we'll see that nothing happens. So what we want to do is we want to go to the front, select the select the path again, and go to object data. Now down here it says that frames. Now this 100 frames states that it from the beginning to the end of the path is going to be 100 frames long. What we want to do now is we want to actually set the motion. So here we are in frame 1. We'll go ahead and evaluation time, nothing. So insert keyframe there. And let's just say for ease, we'll go ahead and jump to frame 100. Notice how when it's on, this is a set frame for the path, so it's going to be yellow. When we go to an area that doesn't have a set, it's going to turn green. So let's click that. Let's turn that to not 1,000, 100, and that would be the end. And we'll click insert that keyframe. Now when you go back, you play through and it follows the path. Now what you can do is, let's say you want it to, let's say, move slowly and then shoot up. So let's go up to about frame 75. It automatically does a calculation that it should be about at frame 8.2 going at that rate. What we'll do is we'll change this to frame 20. And then let's see what that does. Insert keyframe. So moves really slow and then just falls down. Alright, well, and you can do different things, messing around with different timings in it. Just because it's 100 keyframes doesn't mean that it has to end at 100. If you want, you can have it end at 75 on the 100th frame, and that will just be set evaluation time. The evaluation time just essentially states that out of X amount of frames, it will be at this frame in the 100 frame statement or 100 frame setup at frame 100. Now, if I had this go to 150, I could have it be at frame at the equivalent of frame 100 at 150. So it just pans it out differently and whatnot. So you can play with that, and that would be the end of this tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it.